Welcome to the boating adventure. Well, a very good morning to you. It's Saturday the 29th of January 2022 and I'm off down to the Swamp Duck at Sutton Cheney Wharf. I'm not going to take the boat out on a journey today. I might just take it down to the wharf to fill water up and that kind of thing, but essentially I just want to spend today on cleaning the boat, in particular the canopy. I've bought some new cleaner and I've bought some new polish. I really want to give the canopy a really good birthday because it's looking a little bit green around the edges. Then I'm going to clean the rest of the outside of the boat and just spruce up inside a little bit. And so that's my plan for today. The weather forecast is that it should remain dry for the vast majority of the day, although it may be a little bit windy, which in a way will help the canopy to dry. So what I'm going to do, hopefully I'm going to take the canopy off. I intend to put a ground sheet down and clean the canopy on the ground sheet rather than trying to crawl around the boat, because you can never really get to it properly when you're having to kind of like hang on to the side of the boat to stop yourself falling into the canal, which I really don't want to do at this stage. So come and join me. It's turning out to be quite a blustery day. According to the weather forecast, there's one of these named storms heading southwards from Scotland, and it's working its way through England during the rest of today. So it may mean that I'm going to clean the canopy, at least most of it, by leaving it on the boat. And I'll just take the sides off so I can get them done properly. I don't want things in the boat to get blown around or to get wet if it rains, so I'm going to do it like that. Now, before I start that, I just want to think about the "Where am I?" picture that I put on my last vlog. If you remember, I was standing by a lock, this one. That lock is on the River Avon at Tewkesbury, and it's the lock that connects the River Avon to the River Severn. So well done if you got that one correct. So as usual, before I do anything, I've got the kettle on, so cup of tea. So this is the state of the top of the canopy at the moment. It's got this sort of white residue on it, which I think was caused at the back end of last summer when the farmer at the side here sprayed the fields with a sort of lime mixture, I think it must have been, and we had a day where everything was covered in it, and ever since then it's been very difficult to get rid of it. So I just need to give this a really good scrub. It does come off when you rub it, and there's like a white sort of a powdery substance to it, so that needs to be moved, and it's lost its shine, so I really do need to apply that vinyl polish to it. The detergent I'm using is called Boat Wash, and you get 5 litres for about £18. I'm applying it using a scrubby pad.
I have been asked by a number of people where I got my canopy from, and it came from a company called Naughty Cover in Cornwall in Liscard, and it cost around £600 at the time. They were very efficient. Having made the order, they had it returned to me in a matter of days. I had to fit it to the boat myself, but they provided me with the tools that I needed. I've got most of the grime off. It's still a bit patchy in places, but I think when I put the polish on, it might help to get rid of that a little bit. So I'm just going to let this part dry, then I'm going to take the sides off and do those next. You can see where the stitching here is quite green in places, so it's that sort of thing I want to remove before it makes the whole thing rotten. So this is the cleaner, the polish that I'm going to use. It's this 303 Aerospace protection, the ultimate UV protection, and this is great for vinyl. So, and it's just literally a wipe on, wipe off application. You need to do it about every 3 to 4 weeks to keep the canopy nice and supple and shiny. That looks a whole lot cleaner and a lot shinier. This is literally a spray, wipe on, wipe off. And it leaves a really good shine, and it makes the vinyl quite supple so it won't crack. It is recommended that you apply this with a microfiber cloth. Makes it nice and waterproof. So I'm quite happy with that now. That's an awful lot cleaner than it was. Just going to have a go at doing the inside. Okay, so the swamp duck is nice and clean, and I'm going to leave it for a few days now because I'm off to do some kayaking.
Well, Yes, a very good morning to you. It's Sunday the 30th of January 2022 and this is going to be my first kayaking venture of 2022, and I've come to Stanton Gate, which is between Sandy Acre and Stapleford, and it's just on the Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire border. There is a small car park here just above the canal, and you'd probably get 4 or 5 cars here. If there's no parking here, then there is a small housing development just a few hundred yards away where you'd probably be able to find somewhere to park. Now, as regards portage, it isn't a problem because the canal is literally down there in front of the car. I did a recce of this a few weeks ago, and there is quite a good launch spot there by the bridge. The water comes virtually up to the towpath, so you haven't got a big drop to get into the boat, and there's quite enough room there to set up the boat, and there's also a good tarmacked path. The Eriwash Canal at this point does have a really good towpath, and you can walk quite easily from here all the way up to Ilson, or you can go the other way down towards Sandy Acre.
Okay, so that was quite an easy launch. I was able to just drop into the boat quite easily. So I'm heading north now on the Eriwash Canal. I'm just coming up to the bridge that goes under the M1. Can't believe it's January, can you? I know. It's lovely. Yeah, we need it. Just nice to get away from the news and everything, isn't it? Yeah. So this bridge takes an old railway track to the Stanton Ironworks, which is no longer there. So this is bridge 14 on the Eriwash Canal. Very quiet today. You can see the towpath there is very well made up, so you can walk down here without getting too muddy. This is bridge 15 and Stanton Lock, and I'm going to do a 360 at this point. I've now arrived at lock 64, Pastures Lock, so I need to take the kayak out of the water and carry it down. This is bridge 12, which is a little footpath bridge. In the distance, on the top of the hill, you can see St Giles Church at Sandy Acre. I'm not going to go much further than this point. I'm going to turn around and go back to the beginning. And this is Stanton Gate, where I first started. So the joy of kayaking doesn't necessarily end with your journey. You need to then take the kayak and give it a good clean. Now fortunately, when I bring it home, I'm able to hang the kayak up in the garage. I've got it on a pulley system, so I can pull it up and let it dry. There is a drain hole in the end of this particular kayak, so I can undo that, and any water that was inside the kayak will come out. So I've had it here drying for a day, and now I'm just going to clean it. I've just mixed a bucket of detergent and some disinfectant. I'm just going to use that to get all this back off. It's recommended that you do this so that you're not transferring any sort of waterborne diseases from one waterway to another, so that makes sense. If I'm out and about and I can't do it like this, then I'll usually spray it with one of these spray, you can see that, one of these spray disinfectants that you can pick up in supermarkets and places. Only a few pence really, but I'll spray it and wipe it down with that just to make sure that I've given it a good clean. And that includes things like the paddles as well, just to make sure that I'm not transferring anything on those. So I'm going to crack on now and get this clean. So I'm happy now that that's all been cleaned. I'm just going to let it dry off, and I've done the paddles as well, so they're going to dry, and then it's a matter of rolling it up and getting it back in the bag. Now there are a few pieces of equipment that I have bought for the kayak as I've gone along, one of which was a length of rope with a bit of a carabiner on the end of it, so I could put that around one of the handles of the boat, and it's been very useful when getting in and out of the kayak. I can tie that around a bollard or a bit of a fence post or a bit of a tree, and that's certainly helped to steady the boat from under my feet and stop it running away as soon as I get out. In terms of equipment, I've also bought a bag which has a strap on it which I've attached to the boat, and I've kept in that things like my my license, puncture repair outfit,
a towel and odd bits of spare clothing. So that's been useful, and of course it's watertight and it's got a bit of air in it, so it should float for a little while. But coupled with that came this little dry bag for putting your mobile phone in. So it just clips in the top and it just seals it. So if you want to keep your mobile dry, I'd recommend one of those. Then in terms of clothing, obviously it depends on the time of year and where you actually are doing your kayaking, but I did find buying a pair of these type of slip-on shoes very handy. They're very lightweight. You are going to get your feet wet, but these will dry out quite quickly. Then also in terms of clothing, I bought one of these dry suits, which again is something that you perhaps wouldn't use all the time. In really hot weather it proved to be much too warm, but in cold weather it proved to be quite invaluable. And that really has kept me warm even on a cold day. Fortunately it hasn't been tested in the water. If I add any other useful equipment to the kayaking, then obviously I'll add those to a future video. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please press the subscription button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen on your mobile phone or tablet, which is displayed throughout my videos. And please press the bell icon on the home page of the channel and you'll be notified by YouTube each time I upload a new video. Please give us a thumbs up and make any comments below, as I do enjoy reading them and I will respond to each and every one of them. So thank you very much for watching. Do take care.